live from Huntertown, Indiana. It's Soarin on the air. And so a few announcements for today. We've had a very, very good week. We've released 7 birds, so we got rid of, well, I shouldn't say got rid of. We released 1 turkey vulture. Let's see, what,
Yay!
three red-tailed hawks.
Yay!
And let's see, what else did we release?
A great horn.
1 great horned owl.
And 2 barred owls.
And 2 barred owls. So we got a lot of guys out of here. I'm sure they were happy to leave. We're very happy. The people that found the birds are very happy with us and to have their birds back. And so we're happy to get them out of here. So our job has been successfully done. And of course the birds' jobs have been successfully done because they did what they had to do. So today we have a different kind of topic. So today's topic, birds taste good. There's a comma there. Okay. When I announced the topic, this guy was very happy. And so we had to say, no. We had to talk, he was a little confused. So today what we're going to talk about is how birds taste things. And first, just like us, birds have taste buds. So mammals have about, let's see, heck, I'm going to stay on this side so I can talk. So mammals have buds primarily in the tongue, okay, taste buds in the tongue. And humans have about 10,000 taste buds. So that's how you can detect that good flavor for those hamburgers you eat or whatever it is, those chili peppers. But unfortunately, birds have very few buds. So that means that they're not as constrained to food like we are. I mean, they're constrained because they need it for energy and stuff, but taste may not play as big a role in it. So now with birds, some of them have some taste buds on their tongues, but most of them are on the roof of the mouth and on the bottom of the mouth, okay, the floor of the mouth. Some of them have taste buds right at the tip of the beak. In other words, where they start eating things. Who didn't turn off their phone? Okay.
Not me.
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
I'm going to give this away. Hang on, I'll be right back. Just live.
And live.
Just live. We'll edit that out later. Okay. So, anyways, some of the birds have taste buds actually down at the tip of their beak so that they can use that as gathering information about the food that they're going to be eating. The receptors that are used for detecting taste are very similar to the receptors that we talked about last week when we were talking about the sense of smell. So they have these cilia that distend down, and then the cilia pick up the little molecules of taste or flavor or smells, and then they transfer that to nerve endings, and that goes up to the brain. They can detect things like sweet, sour, salt, that kind of thing, just like we can, but again, they don't have anywhere near the number of taste buds. Say like a mallard only has 400 taste buds. So it's not very many at all, but considering what a mallard eats, I don't think I want to taste it anyway, so.
True.
So let's see, what do we got here? Oh yeah. So we know that there's birds like hummingbirds, that depend upon taste quite a bit because they want the best nectar possible, that with the highest sugar content, and so they take, so they have a high sense of taste. Then there's birds like woodcocks and other sandpipers. They actually have the taste buds right down there at the tip of their beak, and they use that when they're probing in the ground to find things that they're after, and they can actually smell, or taste, their way through the burrows and locate their prey down there, like worms, crustaceans, and things like that. So taste is really important to them. So, anyways, whoops. And what started all this? Well, somebody asked me about why do birds like chili peppers? And so there's some people back there are puzzled. The owl, he's just going, I don't like chili peppers. Anyways, so there is an ecological link between birds and chili peppers. I didn't realize that, but I know that like Wild Birds Unlimited, they sell chili powder to go into your seed mix or into the suet you know, and it's supposed to discourage the squirrels,
Right.
and it's supposed to encourage the birds. I found out in my yard, neither liked the suet. So I don't know what was going on there, but anyways, there's a chemical ingredient in chili pepper, capsaicin, okay? And that's that spicy stuff that really makes us go gaga when we go out to where some of the Mexican restaurants, you know, get a little bit of those hot peppers on there, get that going. I was going to name some of the places, but then that'd be a promotion. I can't do that. Okay. But anyways, and of course that capsaicin has a flaming effect on the oral epithelius. Okay, the little nerve endings there in your tongue and that kind of thing, and your taste buds. So inside your mouth and everything, it burns, and it does the same thing to all mammals. So you know. However, with birds, it's a little bit different because first off, it repels rodents, but it has very little effect on the birds. And the birds prefer the chilies because they have lots of vitamins in them. They're good for you. Okay, they have lots of proteins and lots of lipids. And I don't know. I have bad lipids. I don't know what it is. The last time I talked to my doctor, so I guess I better eat more chilies. So, anyways, the theory is that the pepper seeds are protected from rodents, okay, while the birds go out and eat the chilies and then they disperse the seeds. So it's good for the chilies, okay, to have that hot spice taste, and it's good for the birds. And the rodents, unfortunately, don't get the chilies. They don't drink the tequila and stuff like that goes along with it.
Well, it's interesting.
So that's what started the whole thing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me a question about why do birds like chili peppers? You know, so you know, one thing leads to another. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm still in first grade. You know, so always look for something different. So, but anyways, if you're going to taste stuff, you know, one of the things that you're going to need a tongue. And so with tongues, most bird tongues are small and pointed and fit inside the jaw, okay, or inside the lower mandible. So you know, so you look at your catbird, your robin, all that. They just have a little slender little tongue that sticks out there, and basically all they do is they just use that as an aid to swallowing. So they just use it to help push the food down the gullet and that kind of thing. So they don't use it. But there are other birds that do use that tongue for important things. Like for some birds, like parrots, for instance, they use that tongue for moving food around their mouth as they chew the skin off or the shells off and that kind of thing. So they're manipulating the food. You know, some birds, their tongues are very important about securing the food. You know, like some of the fish eaters. You know, they want to be able to secure the food in their beak, so they can get in there and swallow it. So, or to take it back to the nest or something like that. So some of them have spikes and things on their tongues. That sounds like some of these, some of these bands or something. You know, some of those guys have those different things stuck through their tongues. You know, anyways, so they have.
That's next week.
Sticking out, you know, and so they secure the food. Sometimes they have a special adaptation with their tongue to obtain food. So, like a hummingbird sticks its tongue out to get nectar. Woodpecker sticks his tongue in the hole, pulls out the bugs, that kind of thing. And then some birds actually use their tongue to help produce sounds, just like we do. You know, because they move their tongue around, and that helps to alter the air as it's going through, and helps to alter sound. For instance, your parrots are a typical example of that. That's why parrots can talk. Most of the birds all develop sounds down there in their throat. And so what you hear are whistles and clacks and things like that, but you don't hear actual speech. Whereas with the parrots, they can actually make all kinds of different sounds. And that's why we had that one rotten red African parrot with a foul mouth. He really learned how to manipulate sounds. So.
Who remains anonymous.
We won't talk about Charlie anymore, okay? Barb, I'm sorry. So this is a common tongue, okay? Magnified a lot, all right? And so you basically have a rough surface here that can actually be used to help pull food and help push it back in. And it's got a little bit of a at the entrance, you know, it's slightly split, all right? And that helps to hold the food as they're shoving it back into their mouths. And of course we got this triangle thing here, and that helps to the food can't come forward. Okay, in other words, it works so it blocks it, so they can keep pulling it in. So that's the typical tongue. Oh yeah. So here's a good example. Okay, of a big fat tongue. Okay?
Say ah.
Say ah. So this is a parrot, and it has this nice big round bulbous tongue, and it can use that tongue to actually move the food around. So it can rotate the food around as it's chewing away at the husk on a nut or something like that. And also, like I said, it can move that around and actually help it with generating, if you will, speech, okay, or sounds other than just the squawking and things that would normally be set up by the vocal cords. So let's see, who else we got here? But the one I thought was more interesting, woodpeckers, of course. They have that nice long tongue. After they peck a hole, then they stick that tongue down in there and they pull the food out. And one of the things that's always a mystery is, where did all that tongue come from, and where does it go when it goes back in? Well, it's not exactly like a tape measure. Okay. I know some people think it's like a tape measure, goes back and forth, but no, it's actually a little more complicated than that. So this, if you could look, use your X-ray vision and look at the skull of a woodpecker, you'll see that actually this is right here is part of the tongue mechanism, and this is a hyoid bone. And that hyoid bone, it connects all the way in the back and all the way out. And by contracting and relaxing, there's a muscle up here and a muscle down here. By contracting and relaxing, it can actually push that hyoid bone out. And the tongue actually covers the hyoid bone. So it goes out and then can be pulled back in. So it just, so it goes across. And then also there's some padding back there, so when the bird goes, it doesn't hurt its head, so.
Wow.
But so anyway, so this hyoid bone gets extended, goes into the hole, and then pulls out the critters. And of course, the tongue is really interesting. It's almost obscene, to tell you the truth. Okay, so here's the woodpecker tongue, and here it's been extended. Okay, so here it's barbed on the end. And so that could grab onto the ants or grubs or whatever it's in or after. And then it has a sheath here, and it can pull back in to the mouth, all right? And so the whole thing goes out. The hyoid bone is inside, pushes out, then pulls it back in. And the more I looked at that, I said, now how's the hyoid bone in people work? I don't have anything that goes out and in. So I don't think there's a bone in there. Okay. Everybody's sticking their tongues out back here. So you're getting quite an education.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Like I said, so this is just quite interesting. So here's this sheath, and the whole thing comes out, and then can be pulled back in. And again, it's muscles expanding and contracting. And depending on which ones expand and contract, that hyoid bone is extended out and then comes back in.
Wow.
And I think there's something about that in raccoons too, but we won't talk about that. That's a different topic for a different day. And of course, there's another good example of an example out there. So these guys have a similar situation that the woodpecker does. Okay, same thing, and it's interesting the way this the hyoid bone is extended, because it comes back around and there's a hole under the beak, okay, under the roof of the beak, and it goes through that hole and then comes extended out. So these guys can take this and extend it and contract it up to 20 times per minute.
Wow.
Was it 20 times per minute? No, that can't be.
Yeah.
No, 20 times per second. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
20 times per second. Okay, yeah, that didn't sound right. Yeah, 20 times per second, so they get out there. I'm not going to demonstrate that.
Don't worry, I got it on.
So anyway, so they get that tongue out there, and where'd the ants come from? Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. And again, you got the same kind of a system here, where the tongue is wrapped around and then goes out, and you see how it goes down through this hole that's in the beak, and extends out from the bird. And it has an interesting tongue too, because this is an interesting story. So in addition to taking that tongue and going in and out, it has, if you will, a brushy tip to their beak. So when they stick their tongue out, well, when their tongue is normally in their mouth, this brushy end is collapsed. But when they push it out and into the flower, it actually is bifurcated. So it splits apart.
Wow.
And then you get these fringes that come out. Okay? And they go into the nectar, and the nectar gets on those. They don't suck anything up or anything like that. They used to think it was capillary action, but it's not. Okay? So they actually catch the liquid, and then they pull it back in. And as they pull it back in, the bifurcation disappears, and it kind of squeezes, and it collects the droplets of nectar, and so it pulls it back in. So that was kind of an interesting thing. I like these illustrations. This is by Dave Sibley, and so if you want a really interesting book, this is a nice book. What it's like to be a bird, and goes through a lot of these different topics like that. It's kind of a salty price on it. It's like $35 or something like on Amazon. But the illustrations are fantastic, you know. And so, anyways, if you have a chance, get that. Or the book that we have here, How Birds Work. We sell those to our staff, for $10. For you foreigners, we sell it for $15. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, so if anybody wants them, we have them here in the office, and would be more than willing to sell them to you at a reduced price. So, but again, our favorites, hawks and owls, So I have some demonstrators come up here, but I don't want to get bitten. So the neat thing about the hawks and the owls, if you look at their tongues, it's triangular shaped, and it's V-shaped at the back, and of course it's rough surface, so that they can pull that food in after they've torn their prey apart, and then they can pull it back up, and then again the two horns at the back of the tongue actually help to pull the food back down into the esophagus, and then down it goes. And then one of my favorites here, we don't get many of these guys, penguins, but but the interesting thing is that, and I don't know if you can see real close on there, but they actually have a spiky surface on their tongue and on the roof of their mouth. So, and the spikes kind of go backwards, or back into the mouth. So when they get a fish or something like that, they can latch onto it, or any other slippery thing. I don't know what else. I don't know how they do in oysters or clams, but but they might do all right. But for a fish and things like that they have to hold on to, they have all these spikes that come up out of their tongue. So. What's that? Kiss? Is that the one that has the thing through the through the tongues or whatever? Okay. So anyways, there's a lot of interesting things out there. Every time I turn around, there's just more. And again, it all started with the chili peppers. Why do the birds like chili peppers? And it's kind of like eating potato chips. You can't eat just one. You just have to keep looking and looking and looking. So the message to you guys is, if you got a question, something that's kind of puzzled you, what if or what is or why, that kind of thing. And some of them are easy questions to answer. Some of them, like the whole thing there about how the hummingbirds actually bring nectar in. That wasn't discovered until years when we finally got high-speed cameras where we could actually take pictures of these things. And so some stuff was noticed by hunters and stuff like that. Which are obvious, like the spikes in the tongue and things like that, and also figuring out how a woodpecker gets its tongue out, that kind of thing. But how did the hummingbirds suck up? And it's just not hummingbirds, but there's other nectar-feeding birds that do much the same thing. They have a brushy end to their tongues, So if you go out to Africa, there's a number of species out there that are basically nectar feeders, and they have brushy tips on their tongues. Again, they go down, pull the nectar out, and then into the mouth. Somebody has a question.
Yes, we have a question. Somebody asked, do birds have taste buds?
Yes, they do. They don't have very many. Most of them, again, like I said at the beginning, they have them on the roof of their mouth and on the floor of their mouth. And they may have a few on their tongues, but it's very, very small number. But a lot of birds, they taste their food ever before it gets into their mouth. So as soon as at the end of the beak. So I have a nice picture of coots. You've watched coots out there on a pond or something picking up vegetation, but you notice that they pick it up first before they pull it into their mouth or anything like that. So they're tasting it to see if it's something that they want to eat or not eat. So yeah, they have taste buds, and again, like I said, they can detect whether it's sweet, sour, salty, bitter, all the kinds of things. They can tell if they pick a berry and is it ripe or not, because unripened fruit is just not good for you. You don't want that green stuff. You want that good stuff. So with the juice and everything in there. And like the waxwings in my yard, when the fruit ferments, then they're really happy. They taste. I don't know how long it takes them to do that. So, anybody else got any questions? Come on, please ask questions, because I gotta stretch it out. I got somebody back here saying,
Monet sticks his tongue out when he's nervous or scared or whatever. Is there a reason? I mean, is that, I've never seen that in
He's
a
mad
bird.
at you?
Well, I don't know if he's scared or mad, but I mean, his tongue comes out and it's just really weird.
That may be part of the reaction, when they're stressed, maybe a stress thing, like you watch our birds, when they start getting stressed, the mouth comes open, they heavy panting and stuff like that. Yeah. So that could be part of it, But no, I think he really likes you, so he's not sticking his tongue out.
No, it's Nicole. He sticks his tongue. No, when a stranger comes in and he doesn't know them, that tongue comes out like it's gonna protect or scare him away.
I didn't say that bad word.
That's what he says about it all.
Another bird decorating the floor. Okay. Somebody else, please.
There's something else that the same person asked about the taste buds. He said that seagulls were eating their fries with hot sauce.
Yeah. Well, seagulls does love fries.
Yeah.
I always like to see the things on YouTube or whatever, where somebody's trying to go across a beach with a plate full of fries, trailing seagulls,
Can't make it. Yeah.
If you're, I can remember when I came to Fort Wayne first, I never saw seagulls in Fort Wayne. Then we got the proliferation of hamburger stands. And then all of a sudden there were all kinds of gulls out there, And the other thing, I know this is off track, but I saw a video recently where the rats were coming in to get the fries.
Oh, God.
And then, they came in to get the fries that were still out in the parking lot. And guess what? The gulls came in and ate the rats.
Oh, cool.
It was kind of like, wow, well, these are the big blackback gulls, okay, not like our little ring bills, but these are the big guys, and so they were actually gulping down rats, and that was impressive. So,
Wow.
so anybody else have some good questions for me?
No.
Well, okay, introduce you to the peanut gallery back here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so who's back here? Oh, look at this. They're all going to stand up. So introduce yourself and what you do here, besides work like a slave.
Yeah. I'm Nicole. Wow. Nicole Monet. I am one of the volunteers who does almost everything, including ICU, crayons, animal care, handling. So I do mostly everything here. But Monet is one of our education birds. He is a captive bred bird who came to us last September, so he's almost a year old now. But he's a very handsome bird.
You get a close-up of him. Hi, Monet.
Stick your tongue out.
Yeah, no tongue there.
So he's still getting used to audiences and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but he's a little upset because his mom is starting to leave him out here during the day, and
Oh, don't rub it in.
So now he's in homeschool, I guess, or whatever you want to call it.
Daycare.
Daycare.
Day
yeah.
camp.
He's in daycare
Yeah.
now. So he's coming out, and so in the adjacent pens to him, I see across the way he has 2 short-eared owls, and next door he has 2 barred owls, and so he has some owl companionship there. So, and don't let Nicole say that she does everything. She does more than everything.
Yeah.
She's out there watering the lawn every day. I have her painting stuff, and whenever possible, I have her hanging camo netting over our pens. So we've introduced her to a lot of new what do you say, aspects of taking care of the birds. So it isn't just simply birds. So this is a message for anybody who wants to volunteer. We have lots of jobs, you know. And so, you know, here at the end of September, Nicole's going to be out there with her shovel, and we have some 14-foot tall pine trees coming in for her to plant. So that'll keep her a little busy, so she could use some help with that. And watch where you're pointing it.
No. Maybe she felt the breeze.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So who's next here?
Okay, I'm Jeannie, and this is Ruby. I've been with HawkWest, what, 2 years now? Soarin Hawk. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Okay.
I was in some place for a long time. Anyway, Soarin Hawk for about 2 years, and that was really good. And this is Ruby. She is a beautiful red-tailed hawk, and what's unusual about her is she has a white tail.
Oh, okay.
Which
They
is
finally
very,
came in, huh?
very
Wow.
interesting. I have never seen one like that. She is actually, I've been working with raptors for a long time, but she is the best red tail I have ever seen in my life. She is, her eyesight I think is kind of bad, so part of her calmness might be due to that. But she is an amazing Ed bird, and we're very, very lucky to have her at Soarin Hawk. And I have done, I've rescued birds, I have worked at ICU, haven't done it so much because worried about COVID a little bit, but worked at ICU and handled birds and clean pens, and seriously, if you want to do something fun and you're bored as far as things go, come to Soarin Hawk. There's a lot of wonderful, wonderful jobs that you can do here, and you can learn about birds. They're wonderful folks, they truly are, and I think you would really enjoy yourself if you came. And yeah, so anything else you want to know about Ruby? I mean, she is, red tails it takes about a year to get that red tail. They're born like that. They have eggs, they lay them, takes about a month, right, to hatch.
Incubate them. Yep.
To incubate them, a couple more weeks, and then they're ready to go. Red tails are probably the second largest hawk in the North America. I think Ferruginous is the biggest.
Of the Buteos. Yep.
Of the Buteos.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, she's just an amazing, amazing bird.
Yep. So we have all kinds of jobs for all kinds of people.
All kinds of
Yes.
Yep. And you know, so nobody's too short, nobody's too tall.
And it's fun. It's very fun.
Yes.
Check us
Right.
out.
Yeah.
Check us out. We do orientation. Come. This wonderful person who is videotaping us right now will give you all the ropes, and you'll
Yep.
enjoy being here.
Yep. And then,
Okay.
Okay, I'm Jillian Price. I've been a volunteer for 3 years, starting in August. I started out thinking, well, I don't know, once a week? Yeah, okay. Maybe I can do once a week, a couple hours, and I think I'm out here doing something with Soarin Hawk probably every day. A day of avian care, a day of ICU. I'm the placement coordinator, so I spend a lot of time on the computers and with the birds, trying to find places to put them if they can't be released. That's quite a challenge, but
When you say a
gratifying.
place to put them, what are you talking about?
Yeah, boxes, caves.
little drawer.
No, there are, I send out information throughout the country to all the zoos and other wildlife facilities like Wild Heart's African Farm in Ohio. They've taken a lot of our birds. So we've placed birds from Brook Green Gardens, I think, in South Carolina to San Diego Zoo in California. We just, Holland, Michigan, we just sent a screech there. We've sent beautiful red-tail hawk to Zoo Atlanta, who's in the positive reinforcement training program and doing quite well. So yeah, what else do I, and yeah, there's always something to do, and there's always something to keep you busy with these birds, and it's very gratifying. So And I'm holding one of our newest acquisitions. This is a captive bred Eurasian eagle owl. One of the bigger owls. Are gray owls bigger than?
Well, they are and they aren't. Okay.
are and they aren't,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because gray owls are taller, but they weigh only half as much.
Oh,
you know.
okay.
And so basically, the largest owl is
I was gonna say
Blankenstein's
that one,
fishing owl, followed by Eurasian eagle owls, and then
What about
our
That's
great
an
horned owls are a
eagle.
puny
That's
fourth.
an eagle.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he weighs about 4 pounds now.
Yeah, a little over
4 or
4.
5 pounds. He's about let me see, 5 months old.
About 4.5.
4.5
Yeah.
months old. Yeah.
I don't know what he's going to be when he grows up.
He wants to
quite
be
a
a
condition.
doctor.
Yeah, right.
Well, he's a wise old owl.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people confuse these with the great horned owls because he's got the tufts like the great horned owls do. But if you'll notice, his eyes are very deep orange, and great horns are usually a yellow. So that's
Yeah,
one
good boy.
way you can distinguish between them. Plus their size, but if they're not side by side, they and you can't make that size reference. It's hard to.
And these
see.
guys are,
Yeah.
of course, native to Eurasia.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they're not native to
indigenous.
North
Yeah,
America.
Exactly. So yeah, I was going to say something about him. Oh, I was going to try to get him to stick his tongue out, but he won't do it.
No, I don't.
He was panting a little bit ago, and you could see his tongue, but
No.
Get mother
he's
upset.
yeah, right. He's relaxed right now.
Yeah, I thought he was going to fall asleep before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was.
was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
Somebody did ask how many resident birds do we have right now?
oh my, how
What,
many?
25?
25. Those are
Including the new ones.
Okay, yeah, we just acquired a large variety of new ones.
Yep.
We have a Cooper's hawk now, which we have never had before because they're very difficult. We have then the barn owl and the Eurasian eagle owl and a new kestrel, a new barred owl. I mean, all kinds of
Turkey vulture.
New turkey vulture. We
Yeah.
have 2 turkey vultures
Yeah.
now.
So,
So we've got quite a menagerie out
so
here.
we have quite a few guys that
Quite
can
a
go
few
out
guys.
there and do school programs,
Yes.
community interest
Yeah.
programs, and so they, except for really inclement weather, we do programs outside mostly now, and so I know you're looking at me. Yeah, fine.
Well, it's quite an experience to not only be close to a bird like this, but to be able to have them on your glove. It's amazing.
So,
Yeah.
so if you want to
Agreed.
program at your community group or your school, just go to our website, soarinhawk.org, and look at the programs. And if you have a special occasion coming up, we also do things like birthday parties. We've done weddings, and we've even done funerals. Okay, so we're more than happy to accommodate people. And so if you have something coming up, hopefully it's not a funeral, but anyways, we can accommodate you. We can work beside you, and so we're real flexible because we want to get the message out there about conservation and educate people, because we're really surprised how many times we go out to rescue a bird or something, and we find out that how I shouldn't use the word, but ignorant people are about the birds, about the wildlife that's around them. A lot of times they just don't understand why there's this bird in their yard, what's it doing there, and should I hide the children in the basement or something away from, or will it
Oh,
eat
these are my cats.
or no, just hide your cats, that's all. But so anyways, we're willing to go out there, we're willing to meet with you, and we're real flexible. We have probably about 20 people that go out doing programs, and we have different speakers. And if you have a particular thing that you want to talk about, I know that we have, oh, that's pretty. Oh, yeah. Oh, stretchy.
That's my favorite thing to watch.
So we have, you're going to see us out there a lot with Halloween coming out. So we have several programs that are owls only. And so we'll be out there with the owls. And so as you can see, we have quite a few owls. We have Eurasian eagle owl. We have barn owl. We have barred owls. We have screeches, great horned owls, short-eared owls. So we have a wide variety of owls. And so So yeah, give us a call, and we're more than happy to try to accommodate you. And while it's nice weather, you folks at schools, we can stand out there on the lawn in front of the school, and and do our programs for you. So, anything else? Anybody got anything? Okay. How we doing for time?
We are,
What?
oh, yeah.
150. I ran
Yep.
over again. Okay. And again, I did not say any 4-letter words. I'm sorry to disappoint some of
You've done that before?
you. Only just that
I
one
missed
time.
that. Oh, okay.
You missed that one.
I missed that one.
Yeah, well, one of the birds left a deposit on the floor, and I said a bad word.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I won't say that again. So anyways, join us again next week. If somebody has a topic that they like to discuss, I have some other stuff I like to talk about. How about bird feet? I mean, we're used to the talons and stuff like that, but how do lily walkers walk across the lily pads? How do ducks swim?
There's
How
tongue.
There's your tongue.
Even all the different parts of
Oh, cool.
raptors.
Oh, there we go.
Cool.
is so unique, and there's
Yeah.
so much to talk about.
So they have certain adaptations.
Absolutely,
And
very cool.
so-
Chewy decided to volunteer his
Tongue.
tongue so people can,
Oh, you want us to get that tongue out there?
oh, now he's turning his head around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he's gonna
No.
calmly.
he's like, that's enough.
When are you going to start teaching them words? No, that's just for Charlie the parrot.
Yeah.
And Charlie knows enough words.
Yeah.
Even I don't say those words. Okay. So anyways, we'll see you next week. And if somebody has a new topic, we'll get into it with you, and we'll see what we can expand on. And again, we have lots of, for you volunteers, we have lots of books here for sale, and they're all at discounted prices, so that you can get more educated, learn a little bit more, and it won't hurt you. So we have the books on birds of the Midwest, raptors of the Midwest. That's a nice little book. We have the How Birds Work. We have a raptor book. We have the owling book, which is really a great book about the owls, lots of pictures and stuff. Man, it's in fact it even glows in the dark. Okay? So that's something up for it. And we have some other books on bird watching and things like that, all at discount prices for you volunteers. So and it doesn't cost anything to volunteer, just a few hours a week, and a strong tolerance for us.
And the benefits are amazing.
Yeah.
No, but so it's so everybody's welcome, and we're just north of Huntertown, out here in the quiet farmland, and so.
Come on
anyways,
down.
I'll see you next week. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, she's here every day, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
We're all here, it's kind of like, it's really great, because everybody comes out here, they enjoy themselves out here. It's a relaxing atmosphere, and except for that one brawl that we had, everything is just fine.
We're not talking about that anymore.
We're not talking about that anymore. No.
You settled that.
So we're a happy group, and so join us, and I'll see you next week. And this time I'm going to make sure you sign off before I say anything more.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming and seeing us today.
Bye.
Okay. Hey, Chewy. Okay.
Chewy.
Say bye.
Bye.
Aw,
Bye-bye.
you're tough.